don't you just love the days when you do something new for the first time? Well, there's love and there's also anticipation, and there is also some nervousness, and I want to share that with you. So I've been with RE/MAX of Israel for about 10 years, doing a lot of coaching for agents, mainly broker owners, and I ventured into a new territory today. It's been brewing over a few months now of actually coaching and training other trainers, other coaches within our system. They work in the offices, they train agents, they coach agents every day, and it's sort of a train the trainer or coach the coacher sort of thing. Started with a couple of meetings, full day trainings that we had over the last few months. They picked up on the idea. Seems like our trainers all around the network, which are very, very good people and very bright and capable, they also are humble enough that they want to learn and they want to improve. And I threw that challenge to them earlier this week. They picked it up and they said, let's go for it. Let's see how we can together find better ways to train our agents, to coach our agents with my help, which is very humbling for me as well. So today was the first scheduled call that I had with one of our trainers, one of our best trainers in the network. And why do I want to share this with you? Because for me, the message here and the lesson here for everyone is insane preparation. Now, we all internalize things differently. Some people internalize through reading, others through doing, through watching, observing others, watching videos, training videos. We all have different ways of internalizing information and implementing that information into something practical which you can actually use later on as a tool. So even though this is what I've been doing for the last, like I said, almost 10 years, but let's say training trainers and coaching for 5-6 years, developing things and lesson plans and trainings all over Europe and outside, I still, before this call, first thing this morning, I knew I had to prepare, because it's the first of something. It doesn't really matter if it's something that you've done in parallel ways many times before. For me, this person, this coach, deserved my best performance, which is always predicated on preparation. There's no secret to it, and there's no talent involved. And those of us who are, enslaved by talent, captivated by talent, I'm going to talk about that in a different video. It means nothing, and it's the nicest compliment to hear. Oh, you're so talented, blah blah blah. It's all about preparation and effort. So I created for myself a PowerPoint, which is basically, I synthesized into that PowerPoint many other PowerPoints I've already done in the past, and I created, different structures of how to run this conversation. Now, I didn't know what we were going to talk about, because it's his agenda and his situations that he wants to resolve and improve, but I created all kind of streamlines of possible scenarios that we're going to talk about. I talk about improving performance and handling adversity and detoxifying your brain, working with discipline, with checklists, all these things that I want to cover, and I want to be prepared, and I want to be able to give him tools and practical information on how to approach an agent. So I was working on it, and for me, it's preparing a PowerPoint for myself. I'm never going to use this PowerPoint as a presentation. I'm never going to show it, because it's not a training material. It's just for me, the process of building it, and I go to the resolution of actually putting in the effects and the transitions. Why? Because it gives me the structure. It gives me the structure, the practice, and the preparation to be ready for the actual call. And what we talked about was very interesting, that he wanted to bring up how to make people measure themselves. It's a great point, by the way, and I've just decided I will dedicate a different video to this point as well, which is how to get people to measure themselves and the importance of measuring. And together we brainstormed, we broke it down, we baby stepped it, when we found a way to minimize the goals, to put a lot of value into the measurement, to measure the right things, to measure the actions and not the results. And it's something that he's going to try and work on starting Sunday, which is the beginning of April. So it's going to be a new month for him and a nice trigger for him to start a new process. I think he was happy. I think he came out of the conversation with, it wasn't too long, I think we spoke for like 20 minutes. The point is that he came out with something that he can actually use, which is much better than 20 minutes of theories and things like this, and covering many things but touching nothing. So we picked up on this point, we gave him something practical, and then he sent me, a few minutes later, he sent me a file that he was creating with checklists for his agents, and I went over it and I played with it a little bit and sent it back to him. And I love this process. First of all, because it's my passion. It's to help people become better at what they do. It doesn't matter if they're real estate professionals, agents, broker owners, or if they're trainers, coaches, managers. My passion is helping people get better at what they do in places where I think I can help. Many places I really can't help. For instance, if people have financial issues, I'm not a financial advisor. So I also know where to draw the line and say, this I don't know. But in this specific capacity, it was such a fun conversation to have with someone who's at a very high level already. And the bottom line is that when you really love what you do, it's almost like a privilege to actually do it. And you're always surprised that people are actually looking for your advice, because I look at them working, in the offices with the agents. They're actually doing the day-to-day grind, which is amazing. So it's always nice to be a part of this process. It's very humbling. And that is my only message for you. The only way to really excel at what you do is, whatever talent you have is fine, that's great. Always be prepared, over prepared, go over things again and again. Never take anything for granted. Your reputation, the fact that people look up to you, the fact that you already built something for yourself, a brand or a name, it can all go away in a single day if you don't prepare again and again and again. And it's the only thing you can control. You cannot control talent levels, and you cannot control the audience reception, market conditions. You can control preparation. Prepare like you're doing it for the first time, every time, and you'll win every time. That's what I have for you today.